welcome Bulls fans to the Bulls Guys podcast. I'm your host, Kenyatta Wright, K-Dub, and this is my co-host, Greg Love.
What's up?
Man, I think I'm going to start calling Demarr Derozan the magician. We're going to get right into this big win right after this message, folks. You want the most uncensored and unbiased podcast? The Bulls Guys podcast. As only Kenyatta Wright and Greg Love can bring it to you. Follow us on Anchor, YouTube, and all social media platforms. You can use your support. All right, we're back on the Bulls Guys podcast. So, Greg, truthfully speaking, the Bulls could have easily lost both of these games, went 0-2, if it wasn't for Superman, known as Demarr Derozan, playing against the Wizards. Speaking of a wizard, which we had on our side to pull off these last second shots in the game yesterday and the game today.
Yeah, man. He was listening to his Drake yesterday. He's on his Drake going back to back, and I was looking at it, especially this game against the Wizards, man. We should have lost this game, man. Like this one, they took their first lead with like 2 minutes to go in the fourth since like 11. It was like 11-10 in the first quarter, so they was down majority of the game, and they were never out of it, But at the same time, like, where was that spark? I gotta give Vooch some credit. He got a big block down the stretch, and he was trying to do his thing. He went 9 for 15, 22 and 11, or 22 and 12. So give Vooch his due. He showed up, and if you looked at it, it looks like, okay, we got a big three with 28 from Derozan. A trend I hope that'll continue with Vooch kind of stepping up with the other guys, because in the fourth quarter, Vooch was kind of, he was getting those little hook shots and things like that down in the post. I don't know what they said to him. Looked like he was down there banging a little bit. I'd like to see that from him. Yeah, he went out and did his thing. He did miss that three prior to DeRozan's three. And I was thinking, I didn't want Vooch taking that shot, but he was wide open. I get it, but I'll take the win. And with all of that said, I'll take the win.
Well, Vooch did have that big play to tie it at 112 when he hit that layup under the basket and got the and-one.
Yeah.
And after Demarr got the and-one, Demarr missed his free throw, but Vooch went and got the rebound again after that, and then he ended up getting that basket and the and-one, so it ended up being a 5-point play for us, and kind of gave us that boost to bring us close. What kept frustrating me is we kept giving up offensive rebounds, and we made Daniel Gafford look like a damn all-star in this game. Like, I understand he's our former player. I love him, wish him a lot of success, but he ain't as good as we made him look tonight. I'm sorry, man. He was just catching every single rebound. And when you're not putting any effort, the other guy's going to get the rebounds because you're not fighting for it. And then there were multiple plays where we just opened up the part of the Red Sea and just let these guys just come right down the lane and dunk the ball. I'm like, okay, y'all just going to move out the guy's way and just let him dunk? And they did that multiple times. Yeah. And I don't understand why we double so much. And for the Bulls fans at home that don't know why I'm complaining kind of in a win, is because we're not going to be able to beat every single team playing like we did these past two games. We were lucky to get these two games, and playing the way we did yesterday, I expected the Bulls to come in here and mean business today, because Demarr didn't play a good game. And as a team, we didn't really play a good game yesterday, especially on the boards, because Indiana killed us yesterday on the boards. 70 points in the paint for Washington tonight. That's just insane, man.
Yeah, they averaged 50 on the year. Like that was the thing, and just not even close. And like you said, they were just getting blow by after blow by, just no type of resistance. Speaking of Daniel Gafford, he had 4 offensive rebounds. 4 of their 6 offensive rebounds were Daniel Gafford's. And
Mhm.
like you said too, and I will give the Bulls credit in this sense. The Wizards shot 22% from the three, right? So maybe that is the Bulls closing out.
Mhm.
Maybe the Wizards were cold. This isn't something that I feel like you're going to be able to count on consistently.
Mhm.
You know, in the same way, I don't think Kyle Kuzma is going to be their leading scorer consistently. Like, if you were to tell
He's
me,
not. He's not.
if you would have told me that the Bulls are going to come in, Kyle Kuzma is going to be the leading scorer, what do you think will happen? I would have predicted the Bulls win. How did they win? Anyway, yes. But I mean, if you're getting the ball out of Bradley Beal's hands, I'll take that, right? Like he still had 27 on his own, but he was 8 for 20. So wasn't shooting. They were 0 for 4 from three. He got most of his points off of free throws. He went 11 for 13,
Mhm.
but he has 17 assists though. So I
Who
will
has
give the Bulls
17 assists?
Bradley Beal. He has 17 assists.
I could believe that. He was setting them
They,
up
they
pretty good. They
yeah,
played through him the most of the night.
they got the ball out of his hands. So he did what he had to do. But speaking of going back, speaking of former Bulls too, they picked up Alize Johnson.
Alize Johnson.
Yeah, the Wizards picked him up. Uh, don't know how long that's gonna last. He only played 3 minutes, but it was good to see him catch it all with another team. But yeah, overall, I like the idea of, okay, we gonna get the ball out of your best player's hand, and we gonna force everybody else to beat us, right? Like, so that is kind of what you want to do. So I will commend them on that, but at the same time, you got to defend these other guys, right? Like if you're looking at it, it's like, okay, I know Bradley Beal's the best, best they got. That's cool, but like you said, you have to be able to guard Kuzma. You got to be able to, guard Caldwell Pope, right? Like you got to be able to keep Daniel Gafford off the board so much, make him less effective, because more than likely you're going to be getting these one-on-one situations with these guys.
But what you like about the Bulls is they never panicked. They were
Yeah,
down the whole time, and they were even down in the fourth quarter, like coming down the stretch, and they
yeah,
just executed, made the right plays. They actually made some defensive stops at the end there. After gaining the lead, 115 to 114.
yeah. Big block
Um,
by Vooch.
and then I think Bradley Beal came down and got an offensive got a block against Kobe, and then went to the line and knocked down two. So that
Yeah.
put the Wizards up 116 to 115. And then
Hmm.
after that, Demarr came down and hit a shot, I believe,
Yep.
and
Okay.
put us back up again. Orlando is the next team that we got, and I think that's gonna be a breeze. But you never know, man, with us, man. We might like take that game for granted and lose that, man. But we proved tonight that we are resilient and can fight through anything. And I will be watching the replay of this game because this was an amazing game, bro. Like it was like I was down for 4 quarters. I was down as a Bulls fan, and I was crying, and I'm like, hold up, we won? That's
Yeah.
like for Christmas, your father told you you're not getting nothing this year for Christmas. And then Christmas Day comes and he hands you a gift. You're like, hold up, I thought I wasn't getting nothing for Christmas. You're like, what? I actually got a gift.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this was, a gift, because Washington was putting their foot in us the whole game, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Washington looked comfortable the entire game,
Mhm.
but the Bulls never looked panicked, right? Like you said.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe it was because they knew the fourth quarter was coming and they had missed the fourth quarter on their team.
Mhm.
Maybe that was part of the reason. But like I said, like the entire game, it was just kind of like, okay, we just gonna stay within striking distance, and we know we're gonna make a run. And there was, in the fourth quarter, they went on a 9-1 run when they cut it. I think they had cut it to one at that point, and
Mhm.
it's like, it's just like they knew, and that's the kind of poise that I want from this team, to just be like, not get down on themselves and be like, oh man, we're down, the game is over. Just like, no, we can just chip away, and then we know, we got Zach, we got Demar, right? Like we know we can make a run at whoever we're playing and just keep poised and keep coming, and then let the chips fall where they may, just not losing confidence in themselves.
And then we lost Cook in the second quarter. He turned his ankle.
Yeah.
And there were Bulls fans on Bullseye group saying, "Oh, he banged his knee." No, he turned his ankle. I seen it on the replay, and it was really bad. And the crazy thing, it was a freak accident. Nobody even hit him or pushed him to make him do that. He just was running and just turned his ankle. And I'm like, yo, we got the worst luck in the world. Like, we need that guy, yo. He gives us a lot of energy. We can't afford to lose nobody like that. We just lost Javante. Javante didn't play this game. Is that because of the shoulder injury?
Yeah, possibly. So that's what I was kind of looking at. That I was saying Javante didn't play those our spark plugs. Basically, all our spark plugs are out, right? Like
All the
so.
guys that hustle and scrap. Lonzo,
Yeah.
Caruso,
Caruso. Yep.
Cook now.
Javante. Yep.
Javante. Like, we need these scrapping guys, man. But, man, I'm just going to say this. When we get healthy, there's no doubt in my mind that we can win the Eastern Conference, man. There's no doubt in my mind. And everybody might think I'm crazy, but this Bulls team has fought through so much adversity. Like, we lost half of our team, or probably even 75% of our team to COVID. And through that, we still kept winning. And then we're losing all of these key guys, still keep on winning. It's just we had 3 games canceled due to COVID protocol. It's just we've been through it this year, man, and we still just keep winning games and still maintaining our number 1 position in the Eastern Conference. Number 1 and number 2, we stayed around that area regardless of what was happening to us, and it shows incredible resiliency. And I don't see any team in the East that's going through the same thing that we're going through. I mean, every team in the East is going through COVID protocols, but how many of them has lost as many players as we did, Greg?
I think what it is when we got hit with COVID, kind of compared to everybody else. Like everybody else was kind of a trickle down effect where you got 1 or 2 guys here, and it was kind of like that. Like with us, it pretty much hit us like almost all at once. We were getting four guys out at a time, and it's like, all right, well, we got to go scour, the G League or see who's the free agent and try to plug them in
Mm-hmm.
and do things like that. And like you said, still kept winning. And then we got 3 games canceled and a chance to kind of get everybody back. And now that we do have everybody back, well, not everybody, but we're getting guys back and getting healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like I said, like I'm hoping that's all I'm praying for is health, right? Like if we can get this out of the way early, everybody, gets the minor injuries out, gets the COVID protocols, gets that all out of the way at the beginning of the season. Now as we start to go into the second half of the season, when everybody's starting to ramp it up, the Bulls could, be right there and maintain their spot because they don't have to wait around for the other shoe to drop. Be like, oh well, Zach hasn't been out with COVID, or oh, Demarr hasn't been out with COVID. Nope, everybody got that out the way. We did that early, and now we can, go ahead and make this push, run towards the playoffs and towards the championship.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna come back and go into the stats and everything to give you more idea at home how this game went right after this. How do you feel about the Bulls? How would you like to be on our show, the Bulls Guys Podcast, and give your thoughts on the team? Send us your emails at talkingbulls82@gmail.com and we'll be glad to have you on. Hey Bulls fans, we definitely could use your support. Follow us on Twitter at talkingbulls82@gmail.com. Also, like and subscribe to the podcast. We can use the support. All right, we're back on the Bulls Guys podcast. So we're going to go into the stats for this game. The Bulls were 41 for 84 from the field, Greg. Shot 48%. 17 for 34 from 3. The Bulls shot 50% from 3. And I think that's what kept them in this game. They hit a lot of threes tonight. They lived at the line at 84%. They grabbed 44 rebounds, out-rebounded the Wizards. And I could have sworn I thought we got out-rebounded in this game. Offensive rebounds, Bulls 6, Wizards 6. Defensive rebounds, Bulls 38, Wizards 37. So I don't know. We was talking about the rebounds, Greg, but it looks like the Bulls actually out rebounded the Wizards, but it definitely didn't seem like that during the game. 17 team assists, 26 for Washington, 9 steals for Washington, 4 for the Bulls. Here's where the game got away from the Bulls a little bit. 15 turnovers, 12 for the Wizards.
And I think the biggest kind of, for me, what's sticking out is the Bulls had 0 fast break points. To the Wizards 9, not that they were just running all over them, but no fast break points at all during the game. And of course, you talked about points in the paint, but the Bulls had 32, Washington 72 points in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to be able to do that against these better teams.
And it's Kuzma. It's like they wasn't even like scoring against us in the paint with bigger guys. It was Caldwell Pope and Bradley Beal and Kuzma. And I'm like, Kuzma's a small forward. Caldwell Pope is a small forward. Beal is a guard, a shooting guard. So basically they're scoring in the paint. And where's our guys like Vooch and Derrick Jones Jr. to be right there at the weak side to block those shots. And it was a couple of times I just seen guys just looking like a deer in headlights, just staring around while guys are scoring. Man, it's like the Bulls got to get really alert. You have to be alert and know everything that's happening on the floor, especially on defense. You're not getting the ball, so your only job is to pay attention to where the Wizards players are. So what do you really think about while you're out there?
Yeah, I mean, you got a point. I don't know what was really going on. Were you so focused on Bradley Beal that you just ignored everybody else, or like what the deal was? But you can't. You're not gonna be able to win like that, just flat out.
I think they said Bradley Beal averaged 35 points against the Bulls. And yeah, I understand, he been killing us, but I don't think I'm gonna double him, man. I think I'm gonna let him get his and cut off his options. And I felt like that's what made this game really close is the fact that we doubled like on every single play, even against players that didn't deserve double teams. And I'm like, yo, you got to know your personnel. KYP, like Stacey King said, everybody don't deserve no double team. So yeah, but you wanted to discuss like a policy that the NBA is implementing, Greg.
So there's some momentum talking about a in-season NBA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what it would be is the top 8 teams in a league are playing a single elimination tournament that would end prior to Christmas. They shortened the regular season from 82 to 78 games, and then the winning team would get $1 million per player. That was basically it. So it's a little bit different than what they first proposed.
Mm-hmm.
The way they first proposed it was that same thing, shorten the season, but what they would do would take the top 10 teams and do the tournament and do it like that to determine the playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
But decided against that now. What they're talking about basically is, to me, a tournament that really means nothing except an extra source of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't seem like the title would be anything more than a financial game than maybe bragging rights.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no, there. It's not like, oh, the winning team gets a first round bye or anything like that. At least not right now. But yeah, that's basically what they're talking about. I get it. They're trying to drum up excitement, trying to figure out something different. But to me, it doesn't. I don't know. I'm not excited about it. But what do you think?
I just think the league is doing too much, man. I mean, what's the point of doing this? Like, I understand like your play-in strategy. It worked to the benefit because of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
So with that though, when they first proposed it, this was in 2019 when they proposed it for the playoff scenario. So now that they've this is prior to COVID when they were talking about it. So now that they've changed it a little bit and updated it, and you can, look it up on NBA.com and also on ESPN.
Mhm.
But yeah, now it just seems like this is just a tournament that basically be for fun. Like I said, 8 best teams in the league, right? Single elimination. So I get it, in the
That's something
sense
you
of
should do on All-Star Weekend, man.
I guess they don't want to. I mean, that's still a big revenue thing for them. So I think what they're trying to do is, I mean, I don't know how logistically they would do it. Who would it be? Is how they do it to the playoffs, where higher seeds um, get get home court, or how that would work. I don't. They didn't really go into detail of that. But like I said, like I don't see the point in it. Like what? Like if you win, what's the point? Because okay, I get it, not that I can sit up here and poo poo $1 million, right? Like I got it like that. But at the same time, like as a fan, what is the point? Like, oh, we won a mid season tournament but got bounced in the first round of a playoffs. Who cares? Right? Like how does this have anything to do with, championship aspirations? So
Mm, yeah, I don't. I just think the league is doing a lot of weird stuff, man. Um, I listen. I'm at a loss for words, Greg. I just think it's stupid. I don't see the point of it. Um, I'ma just worry about my Chicago Bulls and us gaining the number one seed and going into the playoffs with the best possible chance to get to the finals. And I really believe in my heart that this team, fully healthy, can give it their best shot since D Rose and Joakim Noah was here to get to the finals. And I think they're going to do it. I don't think the Nets have it. Kyrie's going to have to get vaccinated if he wants to play in Chicago. So we have a,
or
huh?
I was gonna say, or the way it's looking, he's only gonna be able to play against a handful of teams, and he can only play half the series anyway, regardless.
But I'm gonna be a little unbiased here. I think the Miami Heat is one of those teams that I fear to go up against in the playoffs. I think they will give us a lot of trouble. Do I think they can eliminate us? No. But do I think they would make it really a pesky series for us? Yes. It will be one of the most annoying series we've ever played against that team. They're well coached. Their organization, the way they play defense is crazy good. And yeah, they're one of those teams. Matter of fact, they're the number one team that I say that if the Bulls play against them, they will push us the hardest.
Yeah, I'm still reserving judgment till I see how the Bulls play against Milwaukee, just because for one, I have to give them the respect as a defending champs. Two, with your point about Miami, I think you're right. I think it would be a very irritating series based on how they play. Like, yes, they are well coached, but also I think part of where the irritation comes is that they have this thinking that they're tough guy mentality, right? Like you got Jimmy Butler, one of the more you got PJ Tucker, you even got Udonis Haslem down there on the bench. You got Kyle Lowry, right? Like they and not to say they don't play great defense, right? But they also do those little things to irritate you and
Mhm.
get up under your skin,
Right.
right? So I think that would be the biggest problem of, and I talked about this earlier, the Bulls keeping their poise, right? Like not this is the same comparison to the bad boy Pistons, right? But like it, if we're making the comparison, right, like the bad boy Pistons, along with their physicality, also did things to get up under your skin, right? So
Mhm.
like they just throws you off your game when going up pissed off, and it's like, oh, okay, they're doing this and doing that and get away with it. Let me go up, and now I'm playing 1-on-1 with everybody, or 1-on-5,
But you
right?
know what
So
also that I want to add though? They did have their chest stuck all the way out because they knew we were missing guys. And I don't even think they beat us this season with our entire roster. So I really can't fully give them credit, but I still respect them and know they'll be a tough team. But I want to see them beat us with our whole team. And I'm talking about Caruso, Lonzo, everybody playing, not no guys out and they knowing that we hampered because I think that last game that they beat us, we had a lot of guys out.
Yeah, I mean, in their defense, they did too, because Jimmy Butler and Bam
We
didn't play
had
in that
more
game.
guys out, man. I think we had
Yeah, we
like
did.
5 players out.
I'm not saying, but I mean, like, I think just if all things are equal, like you said, like, do I think the Bulls can still win? Yes. I think it'll be, like I said, an annoying series, kind of based on the way Miami plays. Yes. To me, an ideal scenario for the Bulls would be if Miami played Milwaukee in the playoffs. That that would be the best thing. Like, even if the Bulls wind up getting the Nets, that's fine. But if Miami and Milwaukee play each other before they get to the Bulls, I think that would be ideal, just based on the fact that for whatever reason Miami can, I don't know, they have Milwaukee's up, or they go back and forth. I mean, they played them last year. Milwaukee beat them prior year before that. Miami dominated Milwaukee. So I think that them kind of taking each other out, right, and just having the Bulls kind of coming in
I'm gonna
licking their
save you the
chops.
trouble. I'm gonna save you the trouble. If Miami and Milwaukee play each other before they get to the Bulls, we're gonna be playing Miami.
You,
I don't know what happened that year that Milwaukee beat Miami. I think they were missing some players, just like when everybody else they beat in every round. When Miami was healthy and played against Milwaukee, they dominated Milwaukee. I don't think they match up against the Heat good at all. And I think Miami has actually exposed the Milwaukee Bucks this year too, with the entire roster. So I don't think that's a good matchup for Milwaukee. I think they want to avoid Miami.
well, as you know, we'll gotta see that. Like I said, that would be ideal for. I think that would be ideal for the Bulls for just to come and pick up the scraps. That would definitely be blood in the water for the Bulls, and I think if that's the case, because even if well, it does, I don't think it really matters who eliminates who in that case. If I'm being honest, I think that the fact that they're gonna go at each other, the way that they're gonna go at each other, they gonna definitely take some energy
Out of the other
out of
one,
it.
yeah.
Yep, yep. And then that's when the Bulls can just kind of come in and just, like I said, pick up the scraps and go ahead and take the series, and let's say five. Let's be nice about it again and say five.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, because if the Bulls finish at the number one spot, they'll be 1-8, and they'll play in the second round. They'll play 4-5. It look like Miami's going to be playing around that 4-5 mark.
Hmm.
I don't know if they're going to have home court or not, but I think they're going to be a 4-5. I don't see Milwaukee dropping down to 4 or 5. I think Milwaukee stays at 3, possibly even moves up to 2, and I think it'll be Bulls, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's going to drop a little bit.
Hmm. So yeah, so Bulls, Milwaukee, Brooklyn is the top three seeds, and Miami fourth or fifth seed.
Mm-hmm.
I I think what could possibly happen is maybe Philadelphia sneaks up.
They've been playing better. Yep, I can see
Yeah,
that.
and I had heard a rumor that but I think Woj was saying, I think it was Woj that was saying that Cleveland was interested in Ben Simmons. So seeing how that would play out, um,
They get Ben Simmons. It's on, yo. They just got Rondo.
yeah. So seeing how that would play out would be interesting. I think Philadelphia would probably sneak into, let's say, this fifth seed. So we're talking 4 or 5. So Philly versus Miami. I think they would jump Cleveland. Then, you know, kind of go on from there and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap up the show, folks, right after this. Hey, Bulls fans, we definitely could use your support. Follow us on Twitter at talkingbulls82@gmail.com. Also, like and subscribe to the podcast. We can use the support. All right, Greg, time to wrap it up. Big win. I'm still stunned. Can't believe we won tonight. Like, out of all the podcasts I've ever done on this podcast and the Bulls podcast that I used to do with a couple friends of mine, Marcus Couch and Wise Black, I've never been so shocked at a victory. I'm not going to say never, but it's been a long time that I can't remember. And I really am more shocked than I was at yesterday's game than today. Because yesterday's game, we were up in that game, 9 points. But this game, we didn't lead the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Up until the fourth quarter with like 1 minute left, you know, we didn't really lead this game. So it was a shocking win. And we just here to close it out, Greg, man. A big win for Chicago.
Yeah, man. I love that they kept their poise, that they kept believing in themselves. Demarr hit 2 game winners. It was just like, you know, yesterday or day before, he was just like, all right, I'm gonna go for this win. I'm gonna put this on pro mode, and then today he was like, all right, I'm gonna take it up a notch, put it on Hall of Fame. Like that's basically what he did with his difficulty of his shots. So it was a big win. I'm glad, like you said, they were down most of this game. They led early in the first, not very long, and then, like you said, didn't get a lead again to the fourth. So down most of it, kept their poise, kept chipping away, and came away with the win. So, you know, I'm happy about that. I'm happy we can have a little bit of time off going, you know, a couple days off.
And we play the Wizards again on Friday.
Yeah, we play again Monday, I believe.
No, we play the Wizards again on Friday though.
I know, but I'm just saying that I think our next game is Monday.
Yeah, against the Magic.
Yeah, so we play the Magic on Monday, so get a day rest to kind of chill.
Yep.
Take it in. Come back home to this snow and cold weather, and you know, chill.
Ready for the Wizards.
Yeah, you're ready for you're ready to play Orlando, then play the Wizards. And just keep this streak going. So it's the first 7-game win streak, I think, since 2017. So let's keep it going.
And the Bulls' first time being 13 games above 500 since March 2015, I believe. Man, Chicago, thanks for joining us tonight. Big victory. I hope you guys are celebrating at home because you deserve to. It was a big win. Big shot from Demarr Derozan for the second night in a row. Go Bulls.
Let's go Bulls.